dog walking habits, get comfy and cozy. Kick off your shoes, soaking it up.
We're live on the set, from the red carpet to a doggy bed. We're tuning in and tuning out. Learning what Mupo and Friends is all about. It's Mupo and Friends. We're on the couch and we're making trends. It's Mupo and Friends. You better tune in. It's Mupo and Friends. We're on the couch and we're making trends. It's Mupo and Friends. You better tune in. It's Mupo and Friends. It's Mupo and Friends. We're on the couch and we're making trends. It's Mupo and Friends. You better tune in. Behind the scenes and acting dreams, the studio audience screams, the inside scoop. We have it all. It's Mupo and Friends. We're on the couch and we're making trends. It's Mupo and Friends. You better tune in. It's Mupo and Friends. We're on the couch and we're making trends. It's Mupo and Friends. You better tune in. It's Mupo and Friends. It's Mupo and Friends. You better tune in.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Mupo and Friends. We are,
Emanuela Messina,
and I'm Michelle Mupo.
and we're brought to you by Mupo TV.
And you can catch this show and many others at www.mupotv.com. That's www.mupotv.com. And if you're looking for a career in the entertainment industry, or maybe somebody told you that you can never do what you wanted to do, like for whatever reason, you wanted to be an actress, and then they said, there's a million of them, honey, forget about it. Well, let me tell you, Mupo Entertainment is the career for you. Go to www.mupoentertainment.com and stay tuned because our show is really rocking. I mean, I have to say, we've had some really cool guests on Mupo and Friends, and they tell us things that sometimes they don't tell other people, you know?
This is
We're the first.
it's so true. You bang on with that. And we just want to say thank you so much for tuning into our show again, because here is where we love to bring you all the celebrities and entrepreneurs that you want to know about.
By the way, Em, we have an app on Android and iOS.
This is true. And if they haven't downloaded it yet, they can go and download it on their Android and iOS, and also Roku and Fire Stick, right?
Yeah, but I'd rather just everybody downloaded the app or went to mupotv.com. Whatever.
I agree. But did you guys know that we are in 144 countries and we have over 2 million views? Did you know?
VODs.
VODs.
That means that they have to watch it from the beginning to the end. We got more than 2 million.
2 million, yeah, and counting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. It's crazy. And the next guests that are coming on, I actually know them. So I've been on set with them in the first original one. So it's going to be exciting to get back in touch with some old friends. But before that, I know that
I get to ask the question. I get to ask the question. Okay, tell me, did you have a Mupo awesome week?
You know what? I tried to reverse it. No,
I
I
know.
did have a Mupo awesome week. I mean, I actually am very blessed, and because tomorrow is never promised, and I try to take every day like it's going to be my last day, but have it in an awesome way,
Yep.
knowing that, God bless me, and I'm here for a reason.
Yes.
And I'm going to
purpose.
make people's dreams come true, and I'm going to change their attitude. And the thing of it is that we had, the Mupo Familia, and a lot of them at one point, somebody told them that they can never be in the entertainment industry, go get a job or go get married and get pregnant and have kids. You know what? Those days are over, honey. Anybody can make it. Anybody.
100%. I agree. You got the passion for it, you can do it.
Yeah. So I wrote a bunch of little scripts, like they're sketches, and we brought people into New Jersey last July, and I guess we got about 58 minutes in the can that we put together, a bunch of little different reels, and I think it's really interesting. It's a start. Let's put it that way. I mean, we're not Adam Sandler, who's like awesome in everything he does, but maybe
Oh, yeah.
one day we will be, in that bracket.
Yeah.
I would love to bring the same people back every time. That's what we're doing every year. The same people, the Mupo Familia, they just keep coming back and back and back.
Yep.
You
I
know,
love that. Yep. Something to aspire to. So if you have a passion for this, come check us out at www.mupoentertainment.com.
and we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back with
2
our,
special guests.
yeah,
2 special
I'm
guests.
excited.
Me
I am
too.
excited. All
See ya.
righty. And we're back.
And we are going to dive into the world of independent filmmaking with 2 remarkable guests. One is an award-winning director whose crime thriller won Best Urban Actor Film and who has also founded a successful production company while mentoring the next generation of filmmakers. The other is a talented actor who has earned accolades for his performance in films showcased at major festivals, including celebrated action sequels. Join us as they share their insights, creative processes, and visions for the future of film. So sit back and enjoy the inspiring conversation. And I'd like to welcome André Joseph and Chris Corulla Jr.
Thanks for having us on.
Welcome. So, Andre, you stated that you started directing at a young age, right? What drew you to filmmaking, and how has your vision evolved over the years?
Well, I just had a knack for trying to tell stories since I was a kid, being inspired by watching so many different animated shows, movies that my parents would take me to see, whether it was on home video or in the theater. And anytime I saw a movie I really liked, whether it was Star Wars, Indiana Jones, or Ghostbusters, I bought the toys. So I would always reenact everything that I saw from them. And it was right around that time I used to go to my grandmother's house in Brooklyn, and my cousins would be there. And we were kind of doing the same thing, but with ourselves, just reenacting scenes that we saw in these movies. And it was around that time my uncle had just gotten a video camera, and we really wanted to start filming some of the stuff we were doing. But because I was 10 and my cousins were like 7 or 8, we were just too young to be able to handle such expensive equipment. But we were always like, we want to write stuff, we want to go and make short films. And then eventually, when my mom got a camera while we were on vacation in South Carolina, by this point, I was about to enter high school. I convinced her to let us shoot a short film around the hotel we stayed at. And that kind of started the journey from me getting friends from after school programs to just do short films to now doing it kind of on a slightly bigger scale with real actors, real crew, and real locations.
Right on.
And Chris, your ability to adopt various accents is impressive. How do you prepare for a role that requires like a specific accent, or do you have a favorite one that you like to perform?
Actually, I learned most of it, believe it or not, from my dad. He used to, play around a lot. My love for film came from him first. He, introduced me to a lot of films when I was younger, things that were a little bit, way before my time, actually. So I started getting more understanding of film and how characters are developed, because he would explain to me pretty much. He was raised with multicultural, so he was very into Russian, English, a lot of Spanish accent, and a little bit more than that. And he would actually explain the little intricacies in the cultures to me. So I got very drawn to it. And he's a lot better than me at it. But and then meeting Andre, all of the research I would do, I would bounce a lot of things off of him in regards to what the character would need, how much in depth we have to go with it, if we could just play with it a little bit more. And it kind of, I don't know, I think it's still something I'm trying to perfect. I wish I was a lot better at it, but I get to a point where I'm comfortable and, just thank God, Andre, he tells me it's okay at this point. Or if I'm doing too much or too less, he lets me know if it's going to work or not. But it's definitely very interesting to me, playing someone else and, trying to, not come off as strong as you hear my New York accent is, obviously.
And Andre, can you share more about the inspiration behind your latest film, The Last Vendetta?
Well, this is the third in a trilogy that we started many years ago, as early as 2009. It was called Dishonorable Vendetta, the first film. And, it was one of these scripts I wrote because I was a big Miami Vice fan. I love Lethal Weapon. I love Bad Boys. I love, those buddy action films. And, there was a Miami Vice movie that was coming out at that time that I just felt like didn't have the essence of the TV show that I remember watching reruns of. And I wanted to kind of recapture that magic, but still have like these great characters and a different dynamic that was not so much like they're jokey, but more like they have these personal issues that tend to have them at odds or, sometimes collide with the job itself. So I was always drawn to this idea of this cop character that Chris plays, who's a DEA agent haunted by the death of his wife, and turns out, that it was kind of an indirect situation of us being on a case and an act of vendetta that resulted in it. And then he did a little bit of a vendetta type of thing that has now scarred him for life. So throughout this film and then the sequel Vendetta games, he's kind of going through the motions of this secret that he's always been hiding from me as his partner and from his boss played by J.R. Carter, even as we're kind of dealing with situations with our families and with politics on the job. Now with this third movie, The Last Vendetta, I consider it like the rite of passage where my character is thinking about stepping back, maybe retiring. Our boss is about to get confirmed to this big political position. And then Chris's character is kind of like stuck, not knowing what to do because he's still haunted by his past. And suddenly there's a guy that comes out who ends up having information that starts to stir him up, puts us at odds, and then our boss goes missing all of a sudden. So now it's like everybody's kind of split apart, but everybody's forced to kind of step up, grow up, and then you get to like a very serious climax where it all seems to come together, but not in the way people expect.
Hmm. So, Chris, having worked with your father on projects, how was that family dynamic? How has it influenced your approach to acting and storytelling in an offset?
Yeah, one of the first things I was ever in was one of my father's films. He's very rough guerrilla style. Him and Andre are two completely different filmmakers. He's very boisterous. He's in his directing style. He's not afraid to direct. He'll let you know exactly how he wants you to be. So he kind of puts you in a box as far as what he believes the character is. Andre is different in regards to he gives you the freedom of the character, what you believe the character is trying to, put out there as far as how the story is moving along. Especially with the dialogue, I got a lot more freedom. And as my father would show me how he likes things, I feel kind of torn between the two different directing styles, and pretty much Andre does everything. Also, he's a director, he's a writer, he's a cinematographer, he's an actor, and watching him wear all of those hats was very inspiring to me. So, in regards to my style, I believe it's a little mixture of both, because I'm influenced obviously by my father in the beginning, but taking it to a new level was definitely brought there by Andre and his belief and his passion, his understanding for film.
That's amazing. And Andre, when you're teaching aspiring filmmakers, which is a significant part of your work, what advice do you find yourself giving the most often to all the young directors out there?
I tell a lot of people this today, especially, they have so many tools now that I didn't have when I started out. I only had a video camera, and then it was just whatever I had to work with in my house, or, maybe I might go out to a friend's place or a family member and just film whatever's available to me. But now, when you look at the technology that's available in terms of doing CGI and doing, I mean, there's the back and forth about AI, but the stuff that's accomplished now, even just by shooting on your phone, I mean, people can now make movies that are almost on the level of what Hollywood is putting out. And so, what I tell young filmmakers who might sometimes have like those ambitious ideas and they feel like, well, I need a lot of money and I need a lot of crew members. I'm like, not necessarily. You could write something that is personal to you, whether it's a horror movie or drama, doesn't matter, but write what you know and then decide, well, what's available to me that I could work with. And that was one great thing I could say when working with students is that they'll come in with ideas and then we'd be like, okay, well, now you got to break it up into shots. And then we got to decide, okay, here's what we have that's available to us in terms of a location, in terms of what props are around that are affordable, and you just work with it. And that's where the creative process, I think, really comes in to make something unique instead of trying to force yourself to do something super ambitious, which I think I learned the hard way early on in my career.
You're amazing. Chris, you've received recognition for your performances, including Best Supporting Actor at the World Music Independent Film Festival, excuse me. How does accolades impact your motivation and your approach to the future roles that you have?
I appreciated it so much because it showed me, though I have a lot to work to do, that I was on the right path. That I could, be a little unsure about things and still like it. As long as I put my all into it, I got the recognition. I was very lucky. But a lot of that goes back to André when he originally gave me the first part in the movie in 2009. We discussed it actually. He saw my personality as this person that he already wrote, and that was inspiring to me. I was like, oh, this is a huge. He was like, oh yeah, I'd like you to be in a film with me. I was like, okay. Now when I realized how big the part was, it was. I was amazed that he would even trust me with it, knowing that I'm not a very, well-versed actor. Someone else could have probably played this part and really made the movie explode, even from 2009. The last one was in, I believe, 2015, 16, and then now. But the way he trusted me with it and the progression of the character, I'm so comfortable with it. This is me. I feel like this was me. And I have a prior background in law enforcement, so he used me and André. We would use a lot of my prior experiences in some of the writing now. The third film we wrote during COVID actually, and we were pretty much stuck in our houses, and we wanted to finish what we thought was going to be the trilogy. We kind of had an idea, and we were just writing pages back and forth to each other, and ended up with the story. And it's so much. I was so comfortable with this one because I believed it was me.
Right on. Well, I was on.
Just a little recognized.
No, I was on the first set. I don't know if you remember doing the stills for you guys up by Rico's house. And I saw the chemistry with the two of you. And I was like, these guys are. And I said it was funny because I remember saying to Rico, they're going to be the next, Will Smith. And I was just like that. Bad Boys. It was great. Well, we're going to take a quick commercial break.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And we're going to take a quick commercial break and we'll be right back with our special guest.
And we are back. André, the dismissal time addressing social injustice in schools. What's the message you hope audiences take away from that?
So that was a very personal one for me because that actually was loosely based on an experience I went through in my first year of high school. And, that was a situation where I was one of the few Black students in my class. And so this was a part of Staten Island that was not the most diverse. And I kind of went through a situation where I got accused of something I didn't do. And it became like this whole big scandal that I had to, it really just psychologically, I got haunted by it for a long time that I had to get out of there. But what I felt was that I needed a mentor figure to really stand up for me, and there were very few people that did. So I wanted to tell a story that I felt, is still happening now in a lot of different schools where situations like this go unreported. They don't make it on the major news, and maybe it's a little too divisive in these days. But I wanted to basically say to those kids of my skin color that may face bullying of any kind, racial or sexual orientation, doesn't matter. But there are people out there, whether it's your teachers, your mentors, your peer counselors, there are people that go beyond just school policy, that do care. And it's more about a paycheck, but it's really just about trying to inspire people's lives, not try to tear them down. So that was really what I was trying to do, and try to get this thing into schools to show kids that there are adults you can trust.
That's beautiful.
Mhm.
So, Chris, in your collaboration with Andre on Dishonorable Vendetta, what was the most memorable moment on set and why?
One night we shot in our garage where we actually had. Hello?
Yeah, we hear you.
Oh yeah, we had. So one night in the second film we shot in the garage where we actually had guns firing. Yeah, we had guns firing in a closed area, and I just remember people not realizing how loud gunshots can be. And the whole cast, the whole crew was pretty much shocked from like the first round going off, and it was like kind of deafening. And we had to do it a few more times, and next thing you know, we're all screaming at each other like yeah, did you eat? Yeah, we're all fine. Yeah, like just how loud and empowering it was, and it seemed real. It put us in that situation where we didn't feel like we were acting anymore. I think that was one of the more memorable things. And the last film, the most memorable, obviously, me and Andre have a huge blowout, and me and Andre have never even argued. And the whole time we've been friends, we've never had an argument, which is crazy. Because sometimes when you're so close, you see things a little bit, and you're not afraid to express it to each other when you are that close. We've never even had anything like that. No falling out, no tumultuous, times with each other, and having this blowout where we're screaming at each other was really, really crazy. It felt real. I'm glad it wasn't though.
And Andre, how do you balance all the roles of director, producer, educator in your career? And do you find that one of the roles informs or enhances the other?
It's a good question. I think it's something that I still learn every day, because I've been, from the beginning I started, when I first started making films, it was just me, like if I didn't have my cousins there or my friends, and if I was just home alone, I would just, maybe take the toys and start filming stuff, and then have to like get the two VCRs together and start editing my scenes. So, I was kind of used to wearing all the hats. And of course, as you get older, it gets harder to do that sort of thing. So, I kind of pick and choose my battles when it comes to, especially when I make movies. If I feel like I'm the only guy that could play this part, then I try my best to have somebody really good, like my friend Albert Albanese is my assistant director, or my other friend Adam Chenoy. Those guys really watch my back when I have to be in front of the camera, and I don't know always where the camera is always going to be. Even if I did the shot list and I've worked it out with the DP, it's good to have that second eye to make sure that I'm giving my best in terms of the acting performance. And I think from the educational standpoint, it's simply just, like knowing when you got to put the different hats on. Like there's some days where, okay, I got to go to work and I got to put the work hat on and just be a good soldier. And then there's times where I'm on a set and I'm the boss, and I got to really, take charge and make sure the vision is correct. I definitely felt when I did Dismissal Time, like my vision was so clear 100% all the time that I could sit with those actors, still give them the freedom, like Chris said, to do what they needed to do. But I could also like give them those nuances of what I remember of those people that they're based on, and try to inject that without it obstructing what they've already brought to the table once they got to set. So it's still, it's an everyday life struggle to try to balance all that together. But I tend to, pick and choose the right times to decide, okay, I'm going to be Andre the actor today, or I'm going to be just a director today, or I'm going to just produce, let somebody else handle the work. So it always varies from day to day.
Okay. And Chris, looking ahead, what kind of roles or projects are you most exciting about pursuing in the future? I mean, are you going to work with Andre again and get another project going?
Yeah, he's probably the only guy I'm ever going to work with. Because other than that, I've done movies, films for my dad, and I've done it for Andre. Other than that, I haven't really branched out. I mean, I'm kind of like retired the last couple of years, so maybe I can do it. My kids are grown now, so I'll have more freedom. But we're very excited about a western that we wrote that we're looking for. You know, we're in pre-production right now, but we're very excited about the script, and that'll probably be the next acting role. But I like to write. And I'm getting a little up there, so I think I'd like to stay behind the camera also. So that'll probably be more of the passion that I'm switching. Because me and Audrey write a lot of stuff, and we're very interested in all genres. We're talking about superhero, we're talking about horror, drama, thriller, mystery, old historic. We have a little bit of everything, because if you don't branch out, you end up staying in a box, and sometimes that could be to your detriment. But I think, yeah, the future is probably going to be more of the writing. Probably the directing, Andre, because I don't think I have the patience to let him go through. I've seen the same dialogue where he had to just turn into the director and stop and cut everything. And I'm like, wait, what's going on? He's like, listen, I hear this over there. You got to stop. And I'm like, wow. Sometimes you're so focused on yourself, you're worried about dialogue that you're about to say. And he's listening to everything still while he has an impeccable performance. So.
Yeah, he's a genius. He really is. And we're right on. And we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back with our special guests.
I got a call from the FBI this morning. George Schaefer was murdered in his home last night.
Schaefer was working on something so big, he kept us all in the dark. I think this guy had something to do with it.
Hands behind your back, now.
Making this harder than what it needs to be. It's just...
The president's nominee for the Office of National Drug Control Policy, James Marks.
I tried everything in my power to stop the hearing alone.
You tried your way. I will do mine.
Do you have any remorse for the people you killed?
Let me see my DEA friend. What do you really know about me?
That he took everything from me. How do you think I feel? Go home. It's over.
Don't let it end like this.
We need to get Agent Miller into custody with as little noise as possible.
You're in trouble.
You better not close me.
Don't worry. You're not the one I'm after.
Mom's never came to me. This is as important to me as it is to all of you.
I'll leave.
You sure you want to do this?
No, and I mean nobody is going home until he does.
When they find you, you're gonna be in a world of hurt.
These people are gonna bury us.
So I'll take the coward's way out. I'll trade everything for one moment with my wife, and there's no going back.
So this is how it's gonna end, huh?
And we're back. Now, Andre, as this marks the end of a sequel series, what emotions do you feel looking back on this journey of these films? Like, what were some of the things that you're going to always hold dear to your heart?
I mean, when we did that first one, I didn't think it was going to get as far as it did. I mean, it was kind of like I was coming off my first movie Priceless, and there was already this chip on my shoulder because as much as I loved making that film and how it turned out, the politics of dealing with film festivals and certain people that are kind of gatekeepers and just the climate of that time, it was tough to get out there. So I was very determined to make this the first one a big success. And listen, each one had its challenges. I can't say that it was always a smooth ride, although this new one, I think we had the best crew, we had the best of the talents, and we were just more grown up and mature from everything that we went through in those films. I think what I really take away from it is um I think just the blessings of playing this character, Jason Stokes, and winning these awards and seeing Chris achieve his awards as well. And obviously the friendship that we've grown, the friendship with J.R. Carter, who plays our boss, and a number of the actors that I worked with on there. I think there were a lot of great experiences, and even the villains. I think we got so lucky in this entire trilogy with our friend Constantine in the original, who was like a Russian pianist, and here he is, like
Oh
with
my
this
God, yes.
gravitas. He was just incredible. What a humble guy that I'm still friends with today. And the second movie, we had Brian Williams, who also had kind of an intimidating presence, but just cool to hang out with, very sarcastic, very jokey. And then this one, the villain is the actor Mako San, who's a martial artist who worked on John Wick and some of the Marvel films, and like another guy that is just so intense in the film, but yet sweet and humble and giving back and even helping us with the fight scenes, including Chris's fight scene in the climax, which I was so blown away by. So I think as much as just the attention that the films have gotten over the years has been a blessing, I think it's just a greater blessing just with the friendships that have built and the relationships that I think have actually made the films better over time. Not just with Vendetta, but with a lot of the things that I worked on.
I love that. And Chris, you're reflecting on your character's arc throughout the sequel. How do you think he's evolved from the first film to the end of the series?
I think he put so much blame on himself because of what happened that he had no other choice but this the climax of what his arc becomes. He felt like that was always going to be what he was looking for, and it was not to spoil anything. He was chasing this ghost the whole time. So through the progression of all three films, you can see where he's a little volatile. He calms down a little bit in the second one because maybe he thinks it's a little bit out of reach. And then basically what happens in this film just reignites everything, and it's really detrimental to all of the law enforcement aspect of their lives, the friendship of their lives, especially how close he is with JR and Andre, which is Stokes and Marks. Everything just really becomes, it's just like dynamite explodes, and he doesn't care, absolutely doesn't care. And I think it needed to be told that way, because other than that, his feelings throughout the other two films are just gone by the wayside. He just decided, oh yeah, it's absolutely fine now. So the character arc was amazing, and I like the climax, even though it was kind of bittersweet, for me.
Amazing. I love that. It's been an absolute pleasure visiting you guys today and learning more about you guys personally and the film. I'm excited to see how all this stuff unravels. Michelle?
Yeah, and Andre, really quick, tell everyone, your handles really quick, both of you, and where they can watch the sequels.
Okay, so I have a link tree, and if you go to Linktree AJEPYX, AJ Epics, most of my social media is there. So my Instagram is AJEPYX, my Twitter, my Blue Sky. I'm also on Facebook, André Joseph. And The Last Vendetta could be found now on Tubi, on Prime Video. It's on Verizon Fios if you have that as your cable provider. And it's on F Awesome. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but it's a YouTube channel. And and we should have some other platforms announced in the coming months from our distributor Buffalo 8, which I got a shout out to.
Right on. Chris, what's your handles?
Basically, just have an IMDb. I have no social media. I really try to steer away from it. I know that's attention. please, with the promotion too, it kind of like hindered things a little bit. I left most of the stuff up to Andre, but it was from my prior background. I didn't like any social media. I was very private in regards to my family and stuff like that. I'm probably going to get into more, but other than that, I have an IMDb. You can find all my contact information there. And Andre pretty much operates as my agent most of the time if he wants.
Right on.
For me.
Okay.
You can
Very
contact
good.
him and get everything through me. He has all of my the photos and everything.
I love it. I love it. And as always, thank you for tuning into Mupo and Friends, courtesy of Mupo TV. And you could catch this show and many others at www.mupotv.com. That's www.mupotv.com. And you could also catch us on Roku, Fire Stick, and make sure you download the app on Android and iOS. And don't forget, we look forward to seeing you at the next gala. The 3rd annual gala is coming up this summer. And also, if you get a chance, watch the Mupo Familia sitcom.
This is Emanuela Messina with our host, Michelle Mupo. And until next time,
have a Mupo awesome day.
Celebrity magic and dog walking habits. Get comfy and cozy. Kick off your shoes, soaking it up.
We're live on the set, from the red carpet to a doggy bed. We're tuning in and tuning out, learning what Mupo and Friends is all about. It's Mupo and Friends. We're on the couch and we're making trends. It's Mupo and Friends. You better tune in. It's Mupo and Friends. We're on the couch and we're making trends. It's Mupo and Friends. You better tune in. It's Mupo and Friends. It's Mupo and Friends. We're on the couch and we're making trends. It's Mupo and Friends. You better tune in. Behind the scenes and acting dreams, the studio audience screams, the inside scoop. We have it all. It's Mupo and Friends. We're on the couch and we're making trends. It's Mupo and Friends. You better tune in. It's Mupo and Friends. We're on the couch and we're making trends. It's Mupo and Friends. You better tune in. It's Mupo and Friends. It's Mupo and Friends. You better tune in.